Welcome, kings and queens, to another episode of Unapologetic, your number one podcast. This is the show where kings and queens tell their legacies and on. So get ready for the gems to drop and pull up to the table because we're ready. That's fast, bro. God damn. So are there any programs or anything that can help, benefit?
There's
that?
it's a down payment assistance program. That's the main one that people use. And it's good, but it has its pros and cons because it's not necessarily a program it's helping you get into a house, but it's not necessarily helping you financially, because how buying a house usually goes is you put 5% down, right? So that means you owe 95%, right? You took out a 95% loan. When it comes to down payment assistance, they just let you borrow the whole 100% instead of having to put down a down payment.
Okay.
So that 5%, you don't have to pay that. They just give you the loan. It's a second loan. One loan is for 95%, and the other loan is for 5%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily, it's going to help you get into a house because you don't need to have that much money saved up. But financially, it's not giving you any money. You know what I mean?
Right. You still have to pay that back.
Right.
Damn. Ain't nothing free, but there's ways around it that you can, like, for example, could you, if you know that this is going, if you need help, would you advise people to save as much as they possibly can, or to have some financial?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're a single parent with 2 kids and you're making $17 an hour, it's gonna be hard for you to save $8,000 to $10,000, and you want to buy a house. You know what I mean? So in that scenario, I'll be like, yeah, go ahead, use the down payment assistance. It's nothing bad, but it's not necessarily, at the end of the day, you're gonna be paying more interest because you're borrowing more money, and it's gonna take you a longer amount of time to pay it back.
Gotcha.
So I would recommend that to somebody that's in that situation. But if it's a 2-parent household, or not even parents, just a couple that's married and they don't have any kids, and they're both making $25-$30 an hour, one is a mail carrier and the other one's in the Marines, I would be like, no, I would just be patient and save your money up, because you guys can have it in under a year.
Right. Wow.
So
that makes sense.
Everybody's situation is going to be different.
Yeah. So okay. So with this, what is it about how you perform, well, not perform, should I say, how you interact with your clients? Like, how do you push them into, the best housing? Do you go by, the type of neighborhood they're looking for, or the type of design of the house? Because when I talk to certain realtors and I'm looking like, man, this 4-bedroom looks dope at this, for this price. But when I ask, like, do you know how the neighborhood is? Most of the sometimes, not most, but sometimes they don't even know nothing about the community.
I mean, as realtors, we're not supposed to say this is a good neighborhood, this is a bad neighborhood. We're not supposed to direct anybody in any type of way. We're not supposed to do any of that stuff. We can make recommendations, like if somebody I try to stay out of it as much as possible. I just listen to what they say they want, and I try to give it to them. If they say I want a 4-bedroom, 1-bathroom, we're looking in Muskegon Heights, we're looking in North Muskegon, we're looking out Apple in the Oak Ridge, Orchard View neighborhood, and it all depends on their budget too, because that's going to push them to certain areas too. Like, you're not gonna find $100,000 house in Oak Ridge area. You know what I mean? So it is a lot that plays into it. I don't necessarily give my recommendations like, I wouldn't live here, this is a bad neighborhood, like there was a shooting on this other street last week. Like, I'm not saying none of that. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I feel like Muskegon is a fairly safe place to live, as long as you're out of the way, and you know what I mean. Just go to work, come home, go to the grocery store, play in the front yard with the kids. Focus on you. You know what I mean? Don't be at the club every weekend stirring up drama, and you know what I mean? Just stay out of the way. Like, I lived right in the middle of Muskegon my whole life. Our house never got broken into. There was never a shooting in the front yard. Like, and I grew up right on Getty Street, Getty and Laketon, like right in the middle of Muskegon.
Oh, okay. That says a lot, because you hear like it's different sides from different people, even though it's like the same neighborhoods around, the Muskegon area. But I know I'm gonna bounce a little bit, so I'm trying to figure out, like, what are you trying to become your own realtor agency, should I say, or some type of broker to run?
I mean, My main goal is to make enough money to make a difference in Muskegon. I want to, at the end of the day, like I want to do something different. Like I want to build parks. I want to like really be
Oh
like a
wow.
philanthropist in Muskegon. Like I want to do something big, but
Yeah.
I feel like that's 10 years down the road. You know what I mean? So in the meantime, I'm trying to figure out the best route with the most leverage to make the most amount of money with the biggest impact. Because you can make a lot of money and it doesn't really mean anything to anybody else. But when you're helping somebody through an experience of buying a house, one of the biggest purchases you ever gonna make in your life. You know what I mean? It
Right.
gives you that fulfillment and it gives you the income at the same time. So that's one of the biggest things for me. It's just making an impact and making money at the same time. So I mean, I don't have an ultimate goal of owning my own brokerage or building my own team or anything like that. I do plan on being probably a single agent in the next 1 to 2 years, but I mean, that'll just come with time and experience. So
Got you. Okay, okay, okay. So, man, yeah, you kind of hit me hard with that one, man. You philanthropy, man. So you're trying to be like this real estate mogul. It was,
like I want to be the person who started the Boys and Girls Club and like, you know what I
yeah,
mean, and helps
yeah.
them build off of stuff. Cause I
I,
mean, that's what Muskegon needs is people to have a reason to be here. You know what I mean? I just shared a video on Facebook like 30 minutes ago about like see Muskegon. It was showing all the different sides, like the beach and all the different amenities that there is that I didn't even notice some of them. Like I didn't realize that there was axe throwing downtown and there's a whole bunch of new stuff
right.
that's popped
Yeah,
up.
yeah. It
Because you
is.
got to remember, I've been gone for the past 4 years. I just moved back to Muskegon, I want to say about a month ago. So I've been gone for 4 years, and a lot of this new stuff I haven't really seen for real.
Wow. So what were you before?
I was in Grand Rapids because I had the store. And then once I opened that second store over by Detroit, I moved to Lansing so I could be in the middle of both stores.
Got
Because I'm like,
okay,
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 so I could be an hour each way instead of being
okay.
2 hours from one and only
And then
five
I
minutes from the other.
right, yeah, 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 yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. Because I was wondering when you was telling me, like, man, he was here, then he moved, like,
No,
and
I've been in, I want to say, 8 different apartments in the past 4 years. Cause
dang,
I was breaking my leases and just paying to leave. I'm like, how much is it to break the lease? 2 months of rent. All right, here, I gotta go.
wow, bro, dang. Yeah, you could have bought a house.
Yeah, definitely could have.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, so what are you? What are one of the biggest impacts that you are proud of that you have done? You know, since you became this real estate in the real estate world.
Honestly, I've heard a lot of feedback from my friends. Like when I had the shoe store, it was like, this is big, but like I wasn't necessarily providing any value to anybody. I was providing clothes and shoes to people. It wasn't necessarily value that they could use in their life. But now that
Right.
they see that this is stuff that they can actually use, like, dang, I didn't know that I should have bought a house to build my equity. So that way down the road, I got 10, 15, 20,000 to either pull out, start a business with, or send my kids to school with, or anything like that. He was like, and that's like one of the biggest like fulfillment parts that I've had is just hearing feedback from my friends that like I'm going in the right direction.
That's what's up, man. See,
So
because no, if you got to be careful nowadays. You know what I mean? Who you call in your
yeah,
circle and your friends and whatnot. And from all the different conversations I've had, man, from corporate CEOs to founders of some of the biggest organizations, and I'm like, man, y'all just sound like us. Us coming up as entrepreneurs, telling us, warning us about, man, yeah, it's cool to have a circle, but make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Make sure your circle is there for you, like you are
yeah,
there for them. And so
yeah.
I want to say that your personality comes off like that, and because of your philanthropy of from what I've read, I want to say you was at the Heights High School
I
talking to
was at Muskegon High School last Tuesday.
okay, Muskegon High School talking to the
Yep.
seniors, correct?
Yep, talking to the seniors. It was
Okay.
man, that was my first time ever speaking to an audience, and it was I think it's like 170 seniors or something. So
Yeah, yeah, it's a nice group. It's a nice little
it
group.
boosted my confidence a lot because I thought I was gonna go up there and freeze up and stutter, and I think I was trying to count. I try to prevent myself from saying filler words like, and you know what I mean, and like you know what I mean, all those stolen words that don't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
say anything, but it just
right.
fills up the empty space when you're trying to keep a steady conversation going. But I did a
Exactly.
really good job, I feel like, and it boosted my confidence a lot when it comes to talking to people and talking to audiences in general. So it was a good experience for me.
And what was the message for the students that you was
It
giving?
it was mainly about credit. I threw a couple life lessons in there, just like everything isn't a one and done situation. It's about, you know what I mean, running a marathon. It's not a race. You know what I
Right.
mean? Everything in life is for the most part pretty simple, but it's not easy. Like credit, for example. The only thing that you need for credit is discipline. You know what I mean? Spend the money, pay it back. Spend the money, pay it back. Spend the money, pay it back. Take out a car loan, pay it back. Like it's
Right.
just it's really simple when I say it, but then
Bro,
when you
I
got
was just about to say that, man. You make it
when
sound
you
like
got your
it's
car
hard.
breaking down and then your kids late to school and then you lost your job because your car broke
Yup.
down, you know what I mean? Like, it gets really complicated, I know. And then you got a uncle that just passed away and then life's getting hard and you want to give up, you know what I mean? So I definitely understand it from that perspective, but I mean, at the end of the day, nobody's going to cry for you, and it's up to you to, no matter what your circumstances are, to pick yourself up and keep going.
Yeah. So did you have any information like brochures and stuff to give them for that?
I
Or
didn't have any brochures. I went through and did a slideshow. It was like 25 slides.
okay,
I could have printed out the slides or emailed it to them. But no, I didn't give them any handouts or anything. The only thing
okay.
I did was I did the presentation, which was like 45 minutes, and at the end, I asked like 10 questions and gave away 10 prizes. Like, what's the highest credit score you can get? What's one way you can get your credit started today?
Hey man,
Um,
those are good questions, bro. Because I know some people that don't even know that they needed to pay attention to their credit, even to this day. So
and
financial literacy is important.
Yeah, and it's a lot of different. If you're just like the type of person that's gonna just be like, I'm gonna just pay cash for everything, okay? Save up $150,000 for a house then. You know what I mean? So, or I mean,
Right,
even if you can save up 150,000, if you need to rent somewhere, they're gonna look at your credit. If like, there's a lot of different. You go to the phone store, they're gonna look
right,
at your credit. But I
man,
mean, I guess that's all financing. So if you're gonna buy a phone cash, the $1,500 iPhone, if you're gonna buy your $20,000 car cash, if you're gonna, you know
man,
what I mean, buy your $150,000 house cash,
man. You're
then that's
already at
different.
300,000 just with that. You're
So if you're gonna pay cash for everything, I mean,
yeah. That makes sense, I had to bring that up, man, because I'm happy that you amongst others are thinking about the youth, our future. Even though we're young ourselves, we already been through the high school, all that, trying to figure out what direction we're going. Now we're trying to figure out, like where do we want to plant our feet at this time in
right.
our lives. So it's good to hear that you're going giving back to the same foundation where you started, because a lot of times people get going good, they get this money flowing, they get where they want to be, and they say, shoot, bro, forget Muskegon, bro. Forget wherever I'm from. I'm living lavish right now, and it's like, that's
Right.
what's
And I
up.
mean, I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with that. It's a little
But
bit, I would say it's a little bit of a selfish route when it comes to making yourself happy. But I mean, it comes down to who you want to live for. You want to live for yourself or you want to live for other people. And neither path
exactly.
is wrong. You know
Okay.
what I mean? So if somebody blows up and starts a business here in Muskegon and they take their money elsewhere, it kind of sucks because it hurts the economy here because like when you live in Muskegon, make money in Muskegon, and spend money in Muskegon, it makes the economy better. Or if you're going to Grand Rapids to make your money, and then you're bringing that money back here to spend it,
Right.
it's growing our economy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So to blow up and start a business and leave, it's kind of like it sucks. But that's something I had to do because like other than Lake Small, I felt there was no place where I feel like I could start a thriving business at. And that's why I kind of wanted to come back to Muskegon so we could
Really.
have those places, so we could, you know what I mean, build up a community
Yeah.
where somebody feels comfortable starting a business, you know what I mean, and I don't know this where is that Henry Street where all them empty stores are at. There's a whole bunch of
Oh
strip
man,
malls
there's
that
a
have empty
bunch of
stores.
them, bro. There's a
Yeah,
bunch.
so and I just didn't feel comfortable opening a store there because I'm like, it could get broken into. Like these are expensive shoes. Like at times I had 70 to $120,000 in inventory, and I'm like, it could all be gone in the midst of
Woo!
30 minutes.
Man, I'll sit there and cry the store with you, bro.
Yeah, so I mean, and
Wow.
that's being in the mall was a necessity for me when it came to security. So I felt, you know what I mean, if it wasn't Lakesmore, I had to be either Rivertown or Woodland, you know what I mean, and I didn't want to go to
Oh, I got
Kalamazoo.
you.
So
Right,
I'm
right.
like,
So yeah, that makes sense. That makes real good sense. So are you going to go back into the shoe business later on?
Um,
It seemed
I
like
don't think so.
shoes is your passion in a way, you know?
Yeah, I mean it is, and I still like shoes, and I'm still in the sneaker community, but I don't think I'll start another shoe store because I feel like it's going backwards in the terms of where we're going in retail. Like malls are slowing down, malls are closing, like and
Yep.
where sneaker stores like mine thrived at was only in person, not online.